The money from the federal government's controversial Minerals Resources Rent Tax won't start rolling in until the middle of next year, but the Prime Minister has already spent some of it, in theory at least. Julia Gillard is sticking with the government's commitment to superannuation reform, but economists argue the money should be used more wisely. Tracy Kirkland reports.
With mining companies banking record profits, Australians may be expecting big when the federal government's Minerals Resources Rent Tax comes rolling in on the 1st of July next year. But some economists aren't so easily convinced.
Are we getting anything? I mean, it's been watered down so far that we're not getting a great deal out of it.
Already the tax rate has been cut to 22% from the original 40% super profits tax recommended by the Henry Tax Review.
That tax certainly had its problems as well, but this one's even worse. It's going to raise less revenue. I mean, if you're looking at it from a revenue point of view, it's going to punish the smaller miners far more than the larger miners. And even over the forward estimates, it's not even necessarily going to raise much money for the government.
Whatever's coming, the Prime Minister says she's already earmarked some of it to help pay for an increase in superannuation from 9% to 12%.
We can only get to 12% by 2020 if we use part of the proceeds of the Minerals Resource Rent Tax to mitigate the lost revenue incurred by taxing super at concessional rates.
But economists say it's not the best use of the tax.
Don't blow what little we're getting from a minerals tax on superannuation. Let's put it into the things that will make Australia a more cost-effective place to do business later on.
My own sense is that the best way to do that is, in this case, for the government to get its fiscal house back in order, to move to establish a sensible, sustainable surplus.
These higher budget surpluses should be saved through some kind of sovereign wealth fund and not spent, in the most part, until the mining boom is over.
Which is a circle Julia Gillard preempted.
I believe that superannuation is already our $1 trillion sovereign wealth fund, but with market benefits.
Not that everyone agrees.
One is the government's accounts and one is the people's accounts. I mean, it's completely different. And I mean, with superannuation, the individuals have to wear all the risk. So if the share market falls, then kind of bye-bye nice retirement, basically.
It's a debate with a long way to go.